center stage, Chloe. Yep. We're singing over there. Gabriella, over here. You stay over here. Good evening, Horner community. If you are not standing, would you please stand? The morning voice of East Hartford High School, Gabriella Minot, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight, seniors Chloe Shear will be singing the national anthem. Please join me in a moment of silence for all of our men and women overseas in our armed forces.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce to you at this time our chairman of the East Hartford Board of Education, Mr. Tyron Harris. Oh, 1 second. Yeah. I probably should first have the students sit. Our teacher of the year, Ms. Tracy Snyder, will seat the students as our long-standing tradition. And now, the chairman of the Board of Education, Mr. Tyron Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. Good evening. I am Tyron Victor Harris, proud chairman of the East Hartford School Board, and it is my privilege to be with you for this momentous occasion on this evening. As I look into the crowd, I see the beauty of people from various cultures and nationalities gathered to celebrate our students' accomplishments. We're all here on the same football field, celebrating our students receiving their hard-earned black and gold Hornet diplomas. I can't help but to reflect on 20 years ago when I, like you, soon-to-be graduates, sat on the football field listening to speeches and waiting for my name to be called. A million thoughts raced through my mind as I sat there. I still had no firm plans. I had yet to apply to any colleges outside of Connecticut, yet that was my goal. I want to go to New York to take a bite out of the Big Apple. Although my future seemed a bit blurry, uncertain, and quite frankly, a bit scary at times, I knew at that moment, although I wasn't much of a gambler, but I wanted to bet on myself, and that is my theme for this evening. Although my future, I knew that no one could bet on me but myself. I realized that I needed to be the master of my fate or live on the life and the sidelines. I moved to Brooklyn, New York without a job or a college acceptance, but I was determined to prove the naysayers wrong. In 2 days, I learned how to ride the subway train to meet with college admission officers to determine if that school would be the right one for me. And keep in mind that fall semester was about to start in several weeks. After several colleges told me I needed to wait until the following semester, I was determined to find the college that fall, again betting on myself. The admissions officers looked at me like I was crazy and thought I was silly for waiting this long. This process quickly made me realize that no one was coming to save me, no one had the vision I had for my future, and no one had the drive that I had to succeed in New York. And no one had the unique blend in skills and talents that I have. But I didn't give up. After several weeks, I got into Berkeley College that fall and found the job as a seasonal third shift bank operator at Chase Manhattan Bank. I learned from this experience that it all starts with a simple bet on yourself, a commitment to your future, a willingness to pursue what you love, and an unyielding belief in your abilities. And that discipline stayed focused and followed me through life. I've continued to bet on myself, which led me to 15 countries, met with leaders in the White House, and am one of the youngest Board of Education chairmen in the state of Connecticut. To make your dream a reality, surround yourself with people who will push you while you look and they look for ways to support you in the pursuit of your dream. I urge you today to embrace the opportunities before you while you're betting on yourself. And take what you have learned through these last 12 years and put it to good use. So never, never, never be afraid of betting on yourself. It is that best risk that you will ever take. And give yourself a chance to win big. I am honored and privileged to have been asked to speak tonight to share my journey on betting on yourself. On behalf of Patrick Biggins, Dr. Annabelle Diaz-Santiago, Vanessa Jenkins, John Pereira, Marilyn Pett, Doris Roberts, Valerie Shear, Stephanie Watkins, and I are proud of everyone here for all you have accomplished and excited for what you will do in the future. And today, you officially graduate. And thank you for inviting me to step out of my comfort zone tonight to celebrate you. I wish you the very best in all of your future endeavors. Congratulations, class of 22.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. It is my pleasure to present to you Mr. Quinnell, the Superintendent of East Hartford Public Schools.
Good evening, everyone. Hey, we're going to have to ramp up a little more energy. We got a graduation here tonight. It's beautiful. Good evening, everyone. That's a little more like it. So, I want to start off with thanking Chairman Harris around that powerful message of betting on yourself, and that gives us a great place to start. And here we are sitting on a field of graduates who have bet on yourself, and we've bet on you too. So I really want to start off with some words of thanks. I first of all want to thank our moms and dads and aunts and uncles who surround us. My favorite moment of graduation is when we walk through the tunnel and our parents see our kids and we hear that roar, that hornet roar, that excitement, that love, that, oh my God, they finally did it roar. Congratulations, parents. Thank you for your continued trust in us as your public school. We are honored and incredibly grateful to be a small piece of the journey in your family's story and in the stories of these incredible graduates sitting here. Students, we all owe a round of thanks to our families, our guardians, our aunts and uncles, those arms of love that sit around this field for us. And today, tomorrow, tonight, somewhere this weekend, don't miss that chance to have that awkward moment with Mom and thank her for what she's done for you. Let's give our parents a round of applause. One more quick thing, parents. You're not off the hook. This journey continues, and we are going to need your strength. We are going to need your encouragement for our next steps, and we're counting on you. We're betting on you. I also want to turn to our faculty here at the high school. A few of them are sitting here, our administrative team behind us, Mr. Ryan, of course. I just really want to be grateful to them. I want to be grateful for what they've done to get us here. We are so fortunate here in East Hartford to be a community that has educators like we have in East Hartford. And I'm sure a lot of communities say that. I'm sure, frankly, at almost every graduation, a superintendent thanks the faculty. But there is something undeniably special here, guys, and there's something that I wish I could promise you you'll find everywhere you go in life, is teachers who will do anything to help you succeed. I can't promise you that. The reality is you've had that, and you've had that experience. And, you know, I'm thinking about Ms. Snyder now, who's up here with us. Ms. Snyder served here for 30 years of amazing service to East Hartford. Ms. Snyder was a role model for me and still is. Let's give them all a round of applause. I also want to thank our Board of Education, Chairman Harris, and all the members of the board. I want to thank our mayor, town council. I know we have several state reps. I believe I saw Representative Curry in the House here, and of course, when you do lists, you miss somebody. And if I miss you, I'll catch you on the way out. But thank you all for your support and for everything you do to make this a great place. Let's give them a round of applause as well. So I'm going to make this quick. I hail from the words of Mark Twain that there's nothing wrong with a good short speech, and I'm going to make it that. But I've been thinking a lot about this graduation season. I've been thinking a lot about you as graduates. I've been thinking about what you've worked through specifically over the past 2 years. A lot of people are going to talk about all the challenge of your past 2 years. A lot of people are going to talk about what you've lost. A lot of people are going to talk about the hardship. And certainly they're right. But the reality is when I think of this class, I think of a class who has encountered incredible odds and had even greater victories. You're here today. You are students who have faced challenge and overcome. Facing challenge is not unique. Everyone faces challenges. Overcoming challenge, betting on yourself, as Chairman Harris calls it, that is unique. And I want to share a little piece from my life, something important to me. We started our school year talking about stories this school year. And this is part of my story. It's not quite as great as Mr. Harris's, but it's my story. And a piece of my story comes from my faith. And I'm not here to share my faith with you tonight. That's for another time, another place if you're interested. But I am here to share some words that have guided me and have been an incredible encouragement to me over time. And you might know it, some of you might know it. And these are 3 principles for living. It kind of goes like this. It says, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you'll find, knock and the door will be open to you. And I thought about, what does that mean for me? Let's be students who ask, who live in a place of humility, who ask for help, who ask for guidance, who ask for wisdom, who ask our parents about what we should do next. Living in humility and asking means that our dreams will be given to us. Be students who ask. The second one I love is seek and you'll find. Seeking involves being courageous. For many of you, it involves coming here. For many of you, it involves making that application to the workforce or the military or college where you're going. That's seeking. Seeking is stepping outside your comfort zone. Seeking is being willing to embrace new people, new cultures, new lifestyles when you don't know a lot about them. Be students who seek and you find beauty in life. And the last one's my favorite one. Knock and it'll be open to you. And I want to add that knocking is about hitting that door. It's about hitting that door with your knuckles. Sometimes it's about kicking the door down. In life, you're going to face obstacles and barriers. None of us can hide that from you. And be students who, when you face barriers, you knock, you kick, and you push that door open. Thank you all students for letting me be a small part of your journey. It's been an honor to share this story, this path, this field, and this stage with you. I wish you all the best. Do anything we can do to help you as you move forward. Come back and visit us and tell your success stories. God bless all of you.
Thank you. Members of the Board of Education, administration, faculty, parents, friends, and members of the class of 2022. As principal of East Hartford High School, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our 136th commencement exercises. This evening, our graduates seated before you were marshaled into our East Hartford High School athletic field by Mrs. Tracy Snyder. A brief biography of Ms. Snyder is listed in your graduation program. Before we continue with our activities, I would ask that you refer to your program for a moment. Listed in an order of events and the names of the graduates of the class of 2022. The top 20, National Honor Society, Tri-M, Music Honor Society, Certified Nursing Assistants, Academy of Finance, and National Honor Society for Chinese, and the Seal of Biliteracy students are identified in your program as well. I ask that you take note of the section which highlights each of our scholarship winners. These students were individually recognized at a special scholarship program on Tuesday, May 17th. The class of 2022 has earned over $4 million in scholarships. There are a few procedural matters that I'd like to mention before we continue. To maintain the honor and dignity of the program, I would ask that the entire audience give each of our speakers their undivided attention. As outlined in the senior letter, your adherence to appropriate demeanor and decorum will allow all graduates and all guests to appropriately celebrate this achievement. At this time, please turn off your cell phones and other electronic devices. We have an official class photographer who will be taking pictures of the students after they receive their diplomas. Graduates and parents will receive a 5x7 photo, as well as being able to purchase more pictures directly from the company. Individual pictures should be taken after the ceremony is completed, right on the field. I do hope you and your graduate identified the location you will meet them on the field. All visitors must remain in their seats throughout the ceremony. At the end of the ceremony, you can meet your favorite graduate on the assigned location. I want to thank the House 12 team members, Ms. Galeota, Ms. Schlatt, Ms. Cody, Ms. Brown, TJ, Coach Narcisse, and Mr. Reynolds for all their support for you over these years. And a big thank you goes out to Ms. Karen Batty and all the high school staff, of course the secretaries at the high school, for all planning and coordinating of this ceremony. Thank you very much. As we begin our program, I would like to introduce the president of the class of 2022, Faith Finane. You're good? There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Class of 22, can you make some noise? You guys don't sound like a group of people who are ready to graduate. I said, class of 2022, can you make some noise?
You want to stand? Is that better?
Thank you. I came to East Hartford 7 years ago, and if you were to tell me that I was going to do a speech in front of hundreds of people, I wouldn't have believed you. But I want to shout out my family for the journey that I've been on. My name is Faith Anane, and I wanted to extend my welcome to the class of 2022, staff, faculty, and our extended families, but only if you guys brought gifts. I know you guys have heard countless of corny speeches. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be one of them, but you guys gotta stick with me. Stick with me, all right? Being class president has successfully taken years off my life dealing with you all. I finally understood why so many of our staff was either bald or gray, because you guys are not an easy class to deal with. Miss Galeota literally came our sophomore year with long brown locks, and now she has a pixie cut. She's all gray. I can't help but think that we are to blame. I was looking back at my Snapchat memories when I was first running for president. I'm like, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. Here with me today is a pair of baby shoes. Aren't they so cute? I love babies. Anyways, these shoes signify our beginning. We entered high school as wide-eyed kids so ready to put EHHS class of 22 in our bio. But little did we know our high school experience would be full of APs trying to dress code us and half of our lunch being wasted in silence because we couldn't listen to announcements. As babies, we cling onto what's familiar. We at first stayed with the same people on our team, but as the year progressed, we intermingle and create friendships that will last a lifetime. We later were in shoes such as these. We finally learned how to avoid hall sweeps, ask friends for money from the snack shack. I know y'all know how good those cookies are. And finally realized the repercussion of relying solely on Spark Notes. We all learned that mistakes are simply opportunities to learn. We lastly transitioned into shoes like these that I was advised not to wear today. We learned that we never truly lose our baby selves, but we are updated versions of people that we once were. We will continue to make mistakes. Like babies, our families will guide us, but look away when we fall so we don't cry. As we enter our adult lives, we will miss deadlines. We might pick the wrong major and transfer out of college. We might figure out that college really isn't our thing. We might regret moving far away. We might rack up debt, pick up the wrong people. We may procrastinate and write our graduation speech the day of and pray it doesn't sound too bad. But maybe that was personal to me. Although we won't have people like Campbell around 24/7 to listen to our friend problems or how boys suck, I've seen firsthand how we as a class are able to persevere through the impossible and adapt as needed, although our last 4 years have been anything but ideal. We won't remember the quadratic equation or Hooke's law, but as we transition from our baby shoes to our adult ones, I hope we keep our childlike unconscious desire to get up once we fall. I'd like to conclude my speech with a lyric that I hope resonate with you all. If God got us, we gonna be all right. I'm so happy that I was able to hold your hands to the finish line. It's been a pleasure being your president.
Nice job. Nice, great job. Don't move. Go on. Don't move. Lift up your hair, because this thing's going to fall off.
Coming undone.
There you go.
Thank you. Always need
Right. Great job, Faith. Give it another clap around for Faith. That was a great job. Can't beat a speech with props. My pleasure to introduce the Salutatorian of the class of 2022, Ann Nguyen. Hi. You good?
Yep.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome and thank you to all the families, friends, staff, and faculty members of East Hartford High School that are here. And of course, the stars of the show today, the class of 2022. Woo! Hello, everyone. My name is Ann Nguyen, and I am the Salutatorian of the class of 2022. First off, I would like to thank my family and friends that are all here. I would not be able to stand here today without the support and encouragement of my loved ones. Secondly, I would like to thank the teachers and staff for guiding me and pushing me to my fullest potential. My fellow graduates, I cannot tell you how proud I am of us right now. We started off our freshman year normally, and we thought it would stay that way, but it didn't. The world threw us a curveball that we all so love, the COVID-19 pandemic. Yep, her. Towards the end of our sophomore year, we thought we were going to have a 2-week break, then come back to normal school. That 2-week break turned into months of locking ourselves in our homes. Some of us were in person junior year, while others were online full-time. Either way, both sucked. It made some of us lonely. It made some of us depressed. It made us want to give up on our education. It even made us lose interest in the world sometimes because it felt like nothing mattered and nothing was getting better. What we went through is anything but normal and easy. However, we pushed through and we did it together as a class. Even though our senior year wasn't entirely normal, we were optimistic that we were lucky enough to have some of our senior activities, and we made the best of it. We made history together, and we should be so proud of what we have accomplished. People weren't joking when they said these 4 years will fly by fast. I want you all to know that everything that happened to us in high school serves a purpose in our lives. All of the hardships that we went through, all of the responsibilities that we had to take on, all of the relationships that we built and lost along the way, it shaped us into the people we are today, sitting here, ready to get our diplomas and ready to go out into the world. The cliche phrase of everything happens for a reason really came into play. The pandemic, yes, did bring us down, but it also made us realize we are stronger than we think. It showed us how we can still pass our classes and graduate while being trapped in our homes for almost a quarter of our high school years. Big shout out to Quizlet. You saved my life and my grades. Change is scary, but change is good. Whatever path you may choose to take, whether it is the college, military, or the workforce, remember how strong you are and how much you have already endured. Remember all of the people that have helped you along the way and all of the lessons you have learned in these past 4 years. Let it uplift you and inspire you to keep moving forward. Everyone has their own story that they are currently writing. Don't let others tell you how to write it. It is your life and you are the author. You have reached the end of a chapter. There are so many more to come. Just keep writing. I wish you all the best, my fellow graduates. Thank you.
Thanks, Ann. Great job. Performing For Good from Wicked is Emily Lanton and Chloe Shear.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I've learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. So now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a sky bird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet sun. By a wind off the sea.
Like a stream that meets
like
a
a sea drop by a bird in the wood.
Who can say if I've been changed for the better?
I do believe I have been changed for the better.
And because I knew you,
Because I knew you.
because I knew you, I have been changed
For good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the valedictorian of the class of 2022, Tam Nguyen. All you, man.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I just want another round of applause for our amazing speakers and the song that we just listened to. Very, very beautiful from all our students today. But good afternoon, faculty, family, and friends. My name is Tam Nguyen, and I am your valedictorian for the class of 2022. To start off, I would like to say a few words of gratitude to the people that allowed me to be here today and to have the honor of this title. I would like to say thank you to the East Hartford High School faculty and staff for supporting us throughout our 4 years here. I am confident that every graduate here has been influenced by the many incredible staff members here, and to them, thank you. Thank you for being our mentors, guidance, and parents when times were at their hardest. I want to thank my friends and peers for keeping me sane throughout these 4 years. I am glad to have been a part of a community that genuinely cares for one another and that treats each other with kindness and respect. To them, thank you for making high school something that I will always look back on and smile no matter the circumstance. Finally, and most importantly, thank you to my family for supporting me in any endeavor that I pursued. They are my rock, and if it were not for them and their sacrifices, I highly doubt that I will be in the position I am in, and to them, words will never be enough to show the amount of gratitude I have for them. But guys, we did it. We graduated. Though I did not attend the same middle school as many as you did, I am sure we have heard a teacher say, those 4 years will fly by when we graduated middle school. When my English teacher in the 8th grade told me this, frankly, I didn't believe her. And to be honest, I am still in disbelief that it's all over. To look at it all over, though I may be biased, I believe that our class is one of the greatest classes to have come out of this school. Unlike the last 2 classes that came before us, we are the first class to have been given the opportunity to make the most of our senior year following the pandemic. And we are the last class to have been able to experience a normal high school year prior to the pandemic. If you take this perspective, we are one of the most special classes ever. I am proud to have been a part of this class, to have been a part of this journey, and to live despite the many historical events that we saw with our very own eyes. I am proud to have graduated with an amazing class president, Faith, and our student council, who gave us one of the most memorable senior years ever, despite the number of rules placed upon them. I am proud to have graduated when our women's basketball team and men's wrestling team won the state championships and put our school on the map. Finally, I am proud to have graduated alongside each and every individual in front of me who overcame their own adversity and grew to be the person they are today. Stand tall and be proud, because what we did in these past 4 years is something special from every other class. Finally, to end off the speech, I'd like to share a bit of a personal story. To keep it short, my junior year was the darkest time of my life. I would say there are many things that caused it: the pandemic, adapting to a new way of life, expectations of still being a scholar despite the world crumbling before us, and so many other things that led me to a reclusive state. Life to me during that time was like a chore. It was something that you had to do because it was expected of you, but you never really enjoyed it at all. I was physically always present, but mentally I could have cared less of what was going on around me. Do you know what got me out of it? My friends and family for sticking with me and loving me despite the way I was. My family for still supporting me and loving me. My siblings and brother-in-law for continuing to be inspirations in my life and shaping me despite, at the time, the investment seemed worth so little. And my mom, who still loved me when all the times I gave her less than an eye. To all these people, I owe an unpayable debt, and I'm forever thankful for what they did. But what was the point of that story? The moral is that life is not meant to be a journey on your own. Life is meant to be surrounded by people you love and that love you. Trust me when I say that when you try to be alone, you will only be met by darkness. To the family and friends of the graduates in front of me, please continue to support them in their lives and never give up on them. Please be there for them when they need it, and even if they do not ask for it. And to my fellow peers, please surround yourselves with people you love. Do not go on about life alone, even if you think no one cares, because you will only be hurt in the end. To the class of 2022, life is so much more fun surrounded by those you love. Thank you for your time, and have a good rest of your day.
Our keynote speaker this evening is Miss Tracy Snyder, the Teacher of the Year at East Hartford High School. Tracy's been teaching at East Hartford High School for 30 years. She receives her BA in biology from Lafayette College and her Master's in Education and Secondary Education from the University of Hartford. At East Hartford High School, she has taught general science, environmental science, and biology, spending most of her career on freshman teams. She has many, many roles at East Hartford High School. One of them is to tell me what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and if I did something wrong. I will truly miss Miss Tracy Snyder as she retires. Please welcome the Teacher of the Year, Miss Tracy Snyder.
Hello, class of 2022, and welcome to your graduation ceremony. Now, those of you who had me for science freshman year, or if you were in my connections class, may recall that I told you I was going to graduate with you. This isn't quite what I had expected, but I'll take it. Okay, those 4 years really flew by, and you'll find as you get older that they go even faster. For me, it was 40 years ago, on a June evening, that I sat on a folding chair on my high school's football field, waiting for them to call my name so I could get my high school diploma. And only a few days before that graduation ceremony, I learned that they called graduation ceremonies commencements. And I thought that was pretty appropriate, because I was really focused more on what was coming up than what was behind me. So yes, I had my 4 years of high school behind me now, and now I was going to move on to the next chapter of my life. I was going to begin my college career building on the skills and knowledge I had, and hopefully becoming a person that I could be proud of. Now, I bet you just caught that, didn't you? Build and become, right? And begin. Yeah, that's East Hartford's motto. And if you're living your life well, you'll find that you just keep doing that. There'll always be something new to begin, using the skills and the knowledge that you had built upon, and then becoming something new. So when I was there on that field, I couldn't believe it that this kid who grew up poor in Brooklyn, New York, so shout out to Brooklyn, was actually graduating and going to college. And from there, I would end up not only graduating from college and loving my college experience, but finding a great guy, falling in love and getting married, actually owning my own home, traveling the world, and landing this amazing teaching job at East Hartford High. I always felt like I came home when I came to East Hartford High, and I had no idea that I would be here for 30 whole years and that I would end as Teacher of the Year. All I knew is I was beginning a new adventure, and I was really happy that I was able to get there. So as you begin and build and become, keep in mind that there'll be some bumps and some roads in the road and some heartaches and some setbacks. But you know what? You're ready. Whether you get your support from your family, your friends, your community, or some combination thereof, there will always be people ready to help you to achieve your goals. The teachers here and the other staff at East Hartford High have strived to support you, to push you when you needed a push, and to hold your hand when you needed some comfort. And Lord only knows we all needed some comfort these last couple of years with the pandemic. So as we release you into the real world, we hope that you remember to look behind you sometimes and to help those people who are not quite as far on their journeys as you've already gotten. We all climb a little higher when we help each other, and kindness is always the way to go. But you guys don't want to hear me go on and on and on. You want to come up on this stage, shake Mr. Connell's hand, and have your family and friends burst with pride. You're ready to move on into your new beginning, to build a bright future and become someone that you can be proud of. So I'll wrap this up pretty soon and wish you well on your journey, wherever it may take you. This is a wonderful new beginning as you get to finally spread your wings and find your own way. But know that in the minds of your teachers, this is the moment we will always remember. You will always be this age, you'll always be sitting on this football field and then walking across this stage. And it reminds me of a great song by Rod Stewart that I'm going to paraphrase a little bit here. It goes, "And when you finally fly away, we'll be hoping that we served you well. For all the wisdom of a lifetime, no one can ever tell. But whatever road you choose, we're right behind you, win or lose, forever young, forever young, forever young." Best of luck to you as you go forth and conquer your future. Begin today and never stop building and becoming. Thank you and congratulations.
Great job. You ready?
Yes, sir.
At this time, I would like Mr. Quinnell and Mr. Harris to prepare to present each graduate with their diploma.
Well, I'm going to stand up.
Yep. Mrs. Snyder, would you please have the class stand? Mr. Harris, I am pleased to present the class of 2022 to you and to certify that they have successfully completed all requirements for graduation as set forth by the State Department of Education and the East Hartford Board of Education. Have the first row sit.
Okay. First row sit.
Yep.
First row sit. And they all sit. You meant first row stand and everybody else sit.